Gen.G get anti-Wukong, and the composition is simple to play. Looks like Owner's ultimately going to decide to take this one first because he wasn't sure yet, and this is going to go down to the last second left.
Olaf! Okay. So Faker has played this before. I was actually there.
I'm not sure it's Faker.
It could be Faker.
I think it's Doran, and they're putting Sion
mid Sion.
Because Chovy's just never going to be able to cut through or really have pressure against the Sion. And the Olaf, you can actually have kill pressure. You're no longer given a free lane to the Zen. One shows up, yeah. But definitely, don't always go into every match thinking we're going to see Quinn jungle.
This stat here, Chovy was the last one to play it against Fate.
Never mind, Static Shiv. That's massive. Okay.
I will say there is at least Armor Shred that's going to help out. Oh, they're going for a play.
Yeah, Ruler's going to have to flash as there is Faker finding the unstoppable onslaught, knocks Duro to the sky, but doesn't have a whole lot after that. Still flash available here for this Poppy. He might actually have to use it over the wall and does so as Ruler finds a snare onto Carrier. It's all right. Faker down to about 300.
Lost the cannon.
He's fine. And all right, there's a shock blast and Faker. Oh, it's in the air and there's first blood for Chovy with a pyro blast.
View there of Faker, but we'll see when we go into the replay if we can.
I hope they don't do it to him as Hepa Pulverize does come in from Carrier. Ruler once again finding a bit of an angle here with his rebuttal, but the unstoppable onslaught delivers Faker to the bot lane, and Ruler, he has to try and dodge it, therefore walking into the waiting arms of FaZe. And there is the answering kill for T1.
Yeah, they did it twice. This time there's no flashes.
I think, oh, Doran's in trouble here.
Yeah, Shock Blast does come on through. The Grim Deliverance comes down. The Ragnarok is going to be there for long enough to get Doran out to safety as the Dawning Shadow comes on through. Owner there for the defense, and Keen, oh, he wants this Crystalline Overgrowth. He'll hit it, and the flash immediately has to be used to get this Zehen out of there.
Trouble, but Faker drives right between the Tri-Brush, and he's dead again.
Huh.
You would expect at some point Faker can kind of just brush a lot of the damage off.
It was a Poppy there, and I think he may have been a bit zoned in the lane as a flank.
Ow. Question mark. As Ruler this time doesn't have the rebuttal, he's going to get snared. There's the heroic charge back, but Carrier running real fast with that Ghost, and Ruler has nothing he can do. He just dies.
You know, I think with the Mel, you're so good at playing into sort of longer range abilities. You have that rebuttal or just anything you can reflect, but into things like a Sion or an Alistar.
To get kills before he came up. As Chovy just whittles away at Faker, and Faker pushes onto Chovy for one more auto here. Just tries to charge Q? I don't know.
He really likes pressing Q.
Yeah.
The shield was on cooldown as well.
Doran is going to have to do some heavy lifting in this game because Faker is so far behind. And the Senna is ahead, but that doesn't necessarily translate to a big mid-game or anything like that yet. She needs more souls.
No.
Canyon's here again. Oh, not one more time.
Chovy holds the flash, decides he doesn't want to go for it. And so now Faker gonna have to try and keep himself alive. Channels another Q, and now Oda makes his way in. Canyon flashes. Dawning Shadow comes down, and there's the flash from Ona to follow, and down goes the Jace. Ona here to save the play, and now Carrier will find the flash from Chovy as well. I'm going to say that no matter what the soul is, it could be fun. As Carrier gonna take a bajillion damage. Does have the Unbreakable Will, so he doesn't necessarily need to completely go back home right now.
His will seems somewhat breakable there, I will say.
All right, Faker is just going to ult his way towards this dragon, but the Shock Blast value is gigantic. Gen.G utilizing that range advantage that we've been talking about. Finally, we're seeing it in effect.
And they regain Prio on this dragon. And now they're going to look to control this zone here into the choke point as the Shock Blast rain through.
Oh dear, Faker in a lot of trouble now, has to flash into the red pit. And I think that will spell the end of T1's contest of this dragon. Feeling good about that. As Duro looking to gank and Olaf. Let's see whether they can get the Ragnarok at least. As Mountain is going to get pushed back. It is going to be a Mountain. So, oh my god, if T1, if T1 get control of this game again and stack 4 Mountains, it's unplayable for Gen.G. Absolutely. As now Doran taking so much damage. Dawning Shadow is going to at least soften up Chovy a little bit quickly enough. As first turret is going to be the race here as Ona finds Canyon. Canyon does get the Hammer Boot back and does have himself a Blast Cone in order to escape. But that is going to be first turret going over to Gen.G and extending that gold lead.
Yeah, should see FaZe answer here in the mid lane. And Ono with a lot of pressure. He has to be careful of Chovy over the wall.
Yeah. Oh, low 4 health! And Ono is able to just turn around and say thanks for the red buff. He will just not really worry too much about the champions on T1. So does Chovy. Faker completely out of mana. The flash forward to block the unstoppable onslaught. Apparently it is a little bit stoppable, but Faker isn't. He's able to walk his way out as Tib is able to come back and join this fight. Point of contention between these two teams.
Oh, for sure.
Oh dear, yeah, Carrier is in a little bit of an odd spot. There is the Keeper's Verdict, though. They get rid of the cow.
Really good here when we set up for these objectives. Gen.G have prio now. Faker's going to TP over and try to wrestle some of that away.
Yeah, Keen makes his way in there as well as Faker turns up. Avoiding a fair bit of this poke right now as Duro going to get snared. Doesn't snare the rest of his teammates, though, as Doran is on a flank angle, and he is so scary if he can get into this backline. Shock Blast goes wide. Actually could be a big deal as there is the flash in from Carrier, but he's a little bit disconnected from the rest of the team. They're chasing Chovy out of there. The undertow's thrown the other way, but the flash to follow from Doran. In the meantime, the rest of the fight, Gen.G trying to pull it back, and the flash forward from Keen gets the kill onto the cow, and Chovy somehow playing a weird game of tennis where the dragon is the net. What the heck was going on there? As the snare not going to connect onto Faker, who looks to get himself out. These health bars are so low. How is this just a 1-for-1? T1 get control of the Drake.
With Ruler, things get a little bit different as Gen.G again have this prio now.
Well, into the pit goes Doran, but he immediately gets pulled back, taking so much damage. Dawning Shadow keeping him alive, but he will be taken out. They traded for Ruler, but there's still a lot of damage left here for Gen.G. The Grim Deliverance from Keen. Carrier right in amongst it, but he's going to be taken out. And now it's Ona that's in there doing battle. Finds the Poppy, but that's just a support. And that is going to be the Drake going over to Gen.G, keeping their whole top side alive and just foregoing the bottom lane and not really caring. I mean, I don't know whether T1 will have enough time to get this center scaled up, you know, to have that advantage. As the unstoppable onslaught here from Faker is optimistic, as Chovy does have those Swifties. The rest of T1 looking for an angle, but Ona's approach is going to get denied, and I think Faker is just going to go down. Chovy comes on over, does have a Q, but it's Canyon that grabs the kill. The rest of T1, Baron is at least able to take this turret in the bottom lane. But he's got a teleport in hand.
Baron's up, and without half of the front line, I think they just focus him down again. If he decides to show up, he is going to come here a little bit late. Gen.G playing this slow. Duro on the flank.
Yeah, Keeper's Verdict going to be a big deal, but it's on cooldown.
Cone again, he's looking for it.
Yeah, Flash not quite available just yet. Keen is going to stop that one. Carrier in so much trouble. Gen.G looking for the turn. A better Baron play than their last one, we have to admit.
Oh, Doran gets caught here.
With the wraparound. And Chovy is going to be able to find him with that stun. He has to throw down the Ragnarok, but using it defensively, he doesn't get a lot of time. And Keen wants that angle. Owner is going to find him. And it looks like Keen is going to get dissuaded, and the Baron will be foregone for now. This pop he can actually accomplish here. As Owner with that GA at the ready, looking to make his way in. That is Faker engaged on. He takes so much damage as Keen wanted to stack up that passive. Faker is not going to be able to start any fights with that low health bar, and his teleport is available. He may need to use it.
I think that's exactly what he's going to do.
They can get that big shield. He can front line with that.
They're just going to focus the Dragon now. They've done enough work here. Carrier getting low.
Yeah, Gen.G going to try and hold on to this one. Remember, this is Mountain Soul, T1. They cannot give this one up, but Faker makes his way back. The rest of his teammates looking a little worse for wear, though, and Pays just needs to hammer that Q button over and over again.
But again, only hitting Keen, and no one else cares, and the shot
the flash forward from Keen, but he misses. Doesn't get on top of Pays, who gets his exhaust off. And now Carrier gets into that backline. Chovy able to avoid Pays. Grim Deliverance is denied. And now the Dragon should belong to T1. A double. Doran as he gets into the backline, but it's Ruler that locks that one down. Owner should be able to secure this Dragon, but that is going to be the snipe from Canyon to try and even out this trade. And it will not be even in the end. T1 deny the soul and win the fight.
Faker wants more here. They are going to try to collapse.
And Faker's health bar looking a whole lot better now. As Ruler is going to be able to snare him. The flash forward. And Ruler will get that speed up from the W.
First Dragon of the game. They put a huge dent in the gold. The stacks are rolling. And Pays is deathless on this Senna. His positioning has been very good. And finally,
won't even be able to really stand near the minion wave. And Pays is going to find Duro. Steadfast Presence not really doing anything at all as the snare is going to connect. Dawning Shadow! And Duro is very durable. That is going to be GA now down for Owner as they overextend a little. Faker moves in, and even Tibbers stays alive. Darkness is going to be there to keep the center somewhat healthy. There's the interrupt from Keen, being a bit of a hero to try and keep Ruler safe. And it is going to be successful as Doran now with that steadfast presence. Doran not actually going overly aggressive against Gen.G as the Dragon has spawned. Keen in a little bit of trouble. Oh my god!
That's it? I mean, that's all you need. Now Paze is in so much danger if he sticks around.
That was the thing that we were scared of seeing, and now we know why we were scared of seeing it.
Yeah, that's the Mountain Soul, I think.
That's enough.
Just got it. That's it. It's that simple, and it hasn't been really hitting this whole game, but it does twice.
Doran realizes that he's probably being seen based on the movement of Gen.G.
And is now trying to find an angle. Oh, TP coming in. They're going for a play.
Yeah, Keen actually cancels his back there as well, as Carrier is going to find him. Faker looking for an angle here. Let's see whether Keen can actually buy enough time, because Doran and Owner are both running up.
This is a Zahin.
is going to follow as, yeah, Keen does have the ulti. He's doing a lot of work and has charged up the passive. It's going to take a long time as now Canyon gets on in here. There is the chase as they look to get on top of Doran, the Dawning Shadow, to keep him alive as it's both of them going down. In the meantime, though, Pace just dead to Chovy. The bear burns him down, and Chovy throws a Q into a decoy, but eventually finds the right Wukong, and Faker might be able to push Chovy away, but the damage, it has been done, and Gen.G will wipe them off the map.
This late game stage, like, oh, Olaf, he's going in, and then he goes almost 100-0 as well as they trade their lives. In the beginning of this, and we're going all the way to the beginning of this replay, which is a little bit longer here, but it allows Gen.G to group up. But watch where Paze is on the left side, where Chovy is trying to match him. He has to go super far away, because if they catch him, he dies, but he needs to rejoin his team because he feels like they're starting to lose control of the top side fight. He ults here, but watch Chovy. Chovy does not wait. He's got a control ward there, and he just 100-0s him. And Paze's first death, maybe his last in this game, is now Gen.G have so much siege to push and control. They have the Mountain Soul, and it gets so much harder from here.
You know what's crazy is that we were talking about how
control in their direction, 4,000 gold to lead, but the
oh my lord!
Okay, Canyon. He's now got 6 items. Like this guy, you were mentioning the money printer.
Behind them,
just TPing for the shield right now. Oh, it doesn't actually have it.
Oh, he doesn't have it.
Yeah.
As, all right, Keen could be in a little bit of trouble. Grim Deliverance is available, so he will be able to keep that one alive as the Pulverize comes in. T1 looking for the angle is Keen. He gets the Grim Deliverance. He manages to keep himself alive, but everyone is going down lower, and there is another snare, so Keen is dead. In trade for Owner, the flash out from Duro might be able to keep him alive as Faker just being that front line, and T1 now have control of the Drake.
But with no jungler.
There's no jungler, but the fact that he's not there is that we get another free fight here.
There he is now.
Yeah, he turns around, but he's spotted so incredibly quickly. Chovy looks for the angle. The hell power of this. Olaf is going down, but it's not going to fall. And Chovy dies. T1 fine too. Ruler is still alive, still has some damage, but Canyon will hit the deck, and that is 3 on the floor. T1 able to march up this bottom lane if they want to.
And that's the late game Olaf comeback. You were talking about Atlas in the draft before we even got in the game. We've seen Doran do this before. In our minds, we're wondering about the simulation of what would happen if he was in that back line, and then we saw it before our very eyes. Ruler, the last to fall here, and I think T1 have pulled themselves to match point.
They've managed to do it once again. Doran on the late game, Olaf comes in clutch, and this was not an easy game. This hasn't been an easy series, but T1 are looking to go to match point. Keen trying to defend.
Yeah, trying to kill the minion wave at least, but it's going to be very difficult. Doesn't get that passive, and Duro now with the Keeper's Verdict. Can he get rid of them? The answer is no. Now, he hits a few minions away, but that is about it.
Not enough.
And there are 7 seconds on Chovy, and I don't think that's going to mean anything at all. T1, 1 game away from Daejon. As out of the fountain goes Chovy, and back again he goes immediately as T1 will walk off the stage.